Today we got an update to the Diablo 3 Season 27 patch 274 PTR. Our suspicions were correct. When you sanctify an item, it's always gonna be like a primal now. And then of course you can keep re-rolling it to your heart's content. So that's great. Although sometimes it has a socket and sometimes it doesn't have a socket, so I'm not sure about that. So I guess it always rolls as a max level ancient is a way to understand it. They changed Hammer of the Ancients. Now instead of 7, it's 10. So that sucks, but now it does 10 times damage. So this is doing really well for speeds. For pushing, I think people are still using Whirlwind, but the PTR just got updated today. We're gonna have to do more extensive testing to figure things out. So that goes with everything that I'm gonna cover. This literally just came out, so we gotta wait and see. So we took our Hoda build. We did a 4-minute 110 with 1,000 Paragon. Absolutely, it was the first try, obliterated it. So this shockwave is slapping really hard. It scales really well. Like if you have Power Pylon 2, you notice like we one-shot like elites with the Power Pylon. So, and then you can kind of time it in your head. You can kind of count the hits in your head and all that stuff. So really good change. I like it. I wish it wasn't 10 because, you know, for speeds, but for Paragon farming, I think it's a-okay. And I think it's competitive with Whirlwind, if not better for like that 100 to 110 speeds. Before the season goes live, don't forget, I will have all these builds on my website. I'm currently redoing the website to have everything a little bit more easily readable. And of course, if you can, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, man. These things really do help the channel grow and all that jazz. But let's get back to the patch notes. They also buffed Tempest Rhythm. Activating Wrath of Berserker now buffs 100% damage instead of 50. So people are using this with Whirlwind Barb right now, currently on the leaderboard. They fixed some bugs with Blessed Hammer, but unfortunately this does not improve the damage that much. This still needs a lot more work. So this change to Blessed Hammer was just dead in the water. It's not really doing anything. After casting Falling Sword, you descend from the sky. So they did change the Archangel. They removed the cooldown. They lowered the damage. You can still only have 2 Archangels at a time. And they don't do Heaven's Fury. They do Condemn and Consecration now. So it's nice. They're out. They're doing consistent damage. They're putting work in. It's just, it's not enough to move the needle that much. So unfortunately, it still needs a buff, or it needs to revert some of the damage back. It is definitely a slippery slope, because if you do too much, then it makes it like a gimmick where they're just one-shotting, killing everything, right? And then it's just like a gimmick seasonal theme all over again. So I would imagine it's a slippery slope to get this tuned correctly. Fix the bug that sometimes caused the strafe power to stop channeling. I definitely had that bug. It was annoying. Fix the bug that caused multi-shot visual effect to fire in the wrong direction. Again, super annoying. Glad they fixed it. They didn't do much to fix the strafe legendary power, but they allowed strafe to be cast with the one-handed weapon, which boosts shadow strafe. So yes, it is now, shadow strafe is now born. They allowed you to strafe with a one-hander. So a lot of people are using that with chemical burn and various runes. Again, the PTR just came out today. So this is the current rank 1 on the PTR. Let's go, man. If you ever want to live out the shadow strafe, everybody's spin to win these days, right? So it's pretty cool. And I like to see that something that wasn't in the game is now in the game and working, but it's also really funny. So they did some changes to the Vengeance rockets. Firing Cluster Arrow no longer drops explosive ordnance. Instead, it concentrates its explosive force into piercing rays of light. Updated the Cluster Arrow tooltip to clarify the power potential interactions with other skills. Adjusted the animation to feel more fluid. It does feel more fluid. So here's the new legendary power in action. It feels better, looks better, and it has more of a visual impact to match the other, like, you know, seasonal theme, right? Get your Iron Man on, basically. They did some bug fixes to Wave of Light, but it basically does nothing to the set. So I'm mostly covering, I guess, the TLDR changes here, right? The Shattering Light rune now respects which way you're facing, and your bells can no longer proc your own bells. So you have to manually explode them. Also updated the tooltip to reflect that other players can attack your summoned bells. So might have some implications there. For Necromancer, updated the tooltip, right? So this is just like more clarity, bug fixes. We tested unconventional warfare with Rothma. It's still bad in general. Like, it's still not that good. But there was a bug interaction with Fate's Vow and Army of the Dead. But in general, Rothma's still dead in the water. So here's the big one, okay? So this is huge. They redesigned like 2 of the 3 Witch Doctor powers. They killed our speed build that we had. But I'm happy to report that you can have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 gargantuans. Yes, my friends. So with my limited testing, we did lose a speed build, which I really like that speed build, and I wish they would bring it back. But we got Helltooth speed build back in the game. So having double the gargantuans allows for more cleavage, for lack of a better word. And you have more wave clear, right? We were getting like around 2 minute and some sub 2 minute T16s. And I still have to obviously tweak the build and add more things. I think some of it's bugged. It's really weird. So the spite gives you cleave effect on all gargantuans. So with the spite, we can cleave no matter what. With the legendary power, we get Restless Giant rune. So we got cleave for free if we use it, Restless Giant for free. So now we get to use another rune. So I've been using the fire rune, but after the 15 seconds is up, they just keep getting resummoned. So I don't know if it's a bug or whatever, but it's been really fun to use the fire rune. If this gets nerfed or something like that, then Big Stinker or Bruiser could work. Again, you just have 6 Gargs out there cleaving enemies, and it basically revitalizes our, you know, Helltooth Gargantuan speed build. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I'll start from the bottom since we're talking about that currently right now. You summon 2 Gargantuans and 3 Zombie Dogs periodically. Gargantuans gain the effect of Restless Giant rune. Zombie Dogs gain the effect of all runes. Enemies hit by sacrifice are immolated. So if you hit an enemy with sacrifice, they take 100% more damage from your pets. So this brings up the pet Gargantuan Helltooth sack build. So this kind of speaks to the build that we were using. This is really good. Really good for speeds, really good for pushing. Overall, rock solid legendary power. There's other implications too, just by reading it. 100% more damage to pets. Well, that could be, you know, Zuni. Maybe the Zuni fetishes are going to kick some ass. So Lawn, maybe Lawn Dagger or Dart, you know, that's kind of like not, it's like indirectly a pet. So we'll see how that all works out, but it could add even more, it could have more implications, right? Horrify. So this was already here, but they juiced it up to maximum. Okay, they're like, oh, you guys want Witch Doctor changes? Here you go. So now instead of 15%, it's 100% more damage. 100% more damage, and it debuffs the mobs to take that. So you should be able to use it as a support Witch Doctor. I fully expect this to get nerfed. Playing it though, it doesn't seem so like completely broken. So the final power of Witch Doctor, enemies affected by Locust Swarm are also haunted. So it just means whether there is a weird wording, but if there's Locust Swarm or Haunt, no matter what, it's gonna pull them in to your location within 60 yards. 60 yards is the whole damn screen, okay? And it's on the Piranha location. So that is amazing in itself for Mundanugu, Arakir, like anybody basically wants enemies grouped up in a nice little convenient pile in front of them, like Jenga blocks to knock down, okay? This is great. In addition to it, a lesser enemy is stunned by Bogadile is instantly killed. Elites and bosses stunned by Bogadile take massive damage. You might ask me, Blood, what the hell is Bogadile? I didn't know either, honestly. I got over 13,000 hours in Diablo. I have no idea what Bogadile was. Let me show you. So I'm on my Arakir build here. Looking for an elite. So you can like dot everything, right? Kind of get ready. You can DPS, whatever you want to do. But when you're ready to cast Piranha NATO, it's going to pull everything together, and a giant freaking Lake Placid ass crocodile is going to come out of the ground. And there's a cooldown, so you can kind of see it visually on screen. Let me show you. Like this, pulls them together, and then, okay, I didn't see it. Where is he at? Where is he at? He's MIA. You see the debuff there. You can't see him and all this stuff. But trust me, there's a crocodile in here. There he is. There he is. You see him? So he comes up, and he is one-shotting Rift Guardians right now. So he's way over to this guy's OP, okay? He's way overpowered. Hopefully they find a nice balance and it can stay in the game because it's hella fun. I think this is like, this legendary power is like one of their best work ever, right? You get the grouping of the mobs. It uses with multiple things, Haunt and Locust Swarm. It's something we haven't used before, familiar but different with Piranha Nado, right? So we always use Piranha as Piranha Nado, but now it's like piranhas and it's pretty cool. And then, you know, you have a cooldown here. So the next one it hits, it's gonna do bigger damage, wham. So pretty cool stuff. I'll show you the clip. This is me just like testing the Rift Guardian. Like I didn't want to do anything else. Bullshit now. Oh, it's a clip. Let me say, I'll give you double blood for a second. Okay, one more time, run it back. It's quick, full health, 120. Can't bullshit now. Oh, like a monster from the deep, crushing his enemies. You can kind of see his body up here. It's not the clearest shot, but it's a clip from the stream. Just whopping them, dude. Pretty crazy. So needless to say, Doc's in a really good spot right now. They have a flat damage buff that's crushing it. They have interesting build with, a speed build and a push build. You know, lesser known things. It's just overall, it's about as good as Barb, and Barb has some sick legendary powers. For Wizard, your Storm Armor charges over 30 seconds now. Casting Storm Armor at a full charge releases a powerful Thunderbolt, instantly killing an enemy. Bosses and elites are not killed but take damage. So it's kind of like the Bogadao thing, but you can manually cast it now. I think this is great. You know, Monk has like passive, and then when you click it, it's an active buff. So this is kind of similar to that. This is a great change. It doesn't hit really hard though, unfortunately, at least not with our testing. We tested up to a 120. I didn't really notice much. So I'm gonna test it some more, get back to you, but it doesn't seem like that crazy. I just like the mechanics of it, right? Magic Missile. Okay, so don't panic. Magic Missile reduced from 20 to 10, so 50% chop. But you can still use the Mirror Ball and get to 12. Okay. In addition, I'm skipping ahead here. They buffed Mirror Ball and gave it a 500% multiplier. So for the speed builds, it's still really good. The speed build is unchanged, basically. Also, you don't really see it. Here's what it looks like now. So it's 10 or it's 12. You don't really see, it is not that noticeable. They kept the width the same. They just reduced the number of attacks and reduced the calculations. So it's still badass and crushing it. We were getting the same times as before. So we saved the nerf wave for Wizard at least. This is good. Yeah, Firebird's doing well too. There's people with like really like 1200 Paragon in the 130s. That's kind of like where you want to be at. That's like around the S tier is in the 130s with like a low Paragon. So that's really good. We were crushing it, also testing it. So we'll see how it shakes out, but maybe a small nerf for Firebird, but nothing to where it's not usable anymore. And then definitely the speed build is good to go. They changed the Guardian set. So now like the 3-piece is the 2-piece also. You gain 100% of your base stats and your melee reduction. So they added like survivability to the set, and they added this part. I just don't think we're gonna use this. I think if they want us to use it, they need to add it to when you max your blacksmith, you get this set for free. That way, every season we hit max level with our challenge rift cache, and we can make a sage set for our follower, and we can make the guardian set for our character. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't see that many builds that might use it, but there might be a build here and there, like a Thorns build or something that I'm just missing. But yeah, I don't know about these. I don't know about this. Let me know what you guys think, if there's any builds that could potentially gain from this, right? They fixed some bug fixes with the con. There was a lot of little bugs, like visual effects. They dramatically reduced the Akon visual, so you can see Condemn way more easily now. So that helps a lot for the people that were struggling. They couldn't find the Oculus Ring or anything like that. Updated the AI to prioritize targets around the player, updated the visual effects, fixed a bug that caused the damage bonus to sometimes not work with Phalanx. So overall, good things. Phalanx is chugging along, still being solid. So another huge nerf, but not to freak out. So Trigul and Wave of Light were the two kings of the patch, in my opinion. Trigul got nerfed, or there was a bug fix. Apparently Power Shift was multiplicative and it wasn't supposed to be. So that got fixed. So that they lost a lot of power right there. They also nerfed Blood Tide Blade for whatever reason. It's been in the game for multiple years now, but okay. Now it only hits 25 enemies instead of every enemy. So that's unfortunate. And they also nerfed Funerary Pick, I believe, slightly. Okay, so Trigul is still crushing it. We did a 120 in 7 minutes and 56 seconds with 1,000 Paragon and 100 Augments. We also have low gem levels. I don't like level things on the PTR too much, so we have 70 and a powerful 68, right? So like I have good optimization because I care about the build, but in terms of like leveling my Paragon, all that stuff, nah. So really good, still S tier. It's not as good as Wave of Light, but it's still really good. It survived basically the patch. So if you want to play Trigul, it's pretty tanky for a Necromancer especially. They also changed DMO, so now Meteor is on DMO. That was our original guess, was like, why wouldn't you just play DMO Meteor? But at the time, it didn't have Meteor damage on the 6-piece, so now it does. So if you want to play it, it's there. I did some light testing. It seems pretty trash overall, but it's there. Maybe early season or something. It's there for you. For my Innas boys out there, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. They brought the fire multiplier back to the bracers. It used to be 5 times. Now it's only 3 times. So monks should be like at that high A tier, I would say, after this buff. They were already kind of climbing back up, so this definitely helps them out. It doesn't help out water speeds, but you can still play water for T16 GR90. But after that, you're going to have to switch to fire like 100 plus. And that's basically it. A first impression of the second iteration of the PTR patch notes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video. It helps a lot. Hit the bell notification. I have a lot more PTR videos planned. A lot more Diablo videos planned in general, like for D4 and so forth. And then the website will be updated before the season goes live. Trust me, I got you guys. That's going to be all for me today. This is Bloodshed, and I'm out of here.